Hi, I'm Zoe with Special Fork. Today we are going to be making a leek and potato frittata, which is essentially an open-faced omelet. I really like this meal on weeknights. It's very fast, it's fresh, and it's very good. So we are going to start with a tablespoon of butter, and we're just going to melt that. To that, we're also going to be adding some olive oil. The reason for that is that the olive oil will prevent the butter from burning. So that's just a good little tip to know. Just going to turn that up a little bit. So here we have our leeks, and we're just going to add those directly to the pan, and we're just going to let those sweat. Just give it a little stir, and we are ready to go. Over here, just to show you what a leek will look like and how to properly clean it. This is what it'll look like in the grocery store. You'll come home, you'll cut it right where the dark green starts. You could use that for stock later on if you wanted to. And then you're going to make 2 perpendicular incisions. And that's going to allow you to really open the leek up and get all the dirt that forms in the fold of the leek. So, our leeks are still sweating. We're just going to let that cook for a little bit longer. So our leeks have nicely softened and they're just starting to get a little bit brown, which is what we want. And at this point, we're going to add our diced potatoes. Now you could use whatever you have on hand. These are Yukon Gold, but if you had russet potatoes, you could easily use those, or really any type of potato you have. We're just going to give that a mix. We're also going to be adding a bay leaf and a pinch of salt and a pinch of freshly ground pepper. Just give that a mix. Okay, we're going to let that cook. Meanwhile, we have 6 eggs. So you could use, I'm using whole eggs. You could use egg whites if you wanted to. You could use a combination of whole eggs and egg whites. Or, you know, if you're not really that big of an egg fan, then you could just put less eggs and more filling. That's the great thing about this recipe. It's very versatile, and you can really cater it to make it something that you find delicious. I'm also going to be adding whole milk. You could add half and half, or you could add non-fat, up to you. Just going to give this a little whisk. Make sure to break up all the egg yolks. Just going to whisk that up. And I'm also going to add a little bit of salt and freshly ground pepper. Take a look at my potatoes, and we really want the potatoes to be almost cooked before we add the egg, so we're just going to hold off until those are ready to go. So our potatoes look like they are almost done. Our leeks have browned really nicely. At this point, I'm going to remove the bay leaf. You could leave it in if you wanted to, but I prefer to take it out. We are going to take our eggs that we've whisked really nicely to get them nice and fluffy, and we are just going to be adding them directly to the pan. So at this point, the eggs have gone in, your potatoes are pretty much cooked. You're just going to go around the edges. This is a non-stick pan, just makes things easier once you're ready to take it out. You're just going to give it a little bit of a mix to incorporate all the ingredients. And then the easy part, we're just going to let it cook. So our omelet looks like it's pretty much almost done. And at this point, I'm going to add some chopped parsley. You could add some fresh basil, some cilantro, whatever you have on hand. I like to use fresh herbs at the end of the cooking process. I think it retains their freshness and their beautiful color. So we're just going to give that probably less than a minute just to let that soak in. And we'll be ready to eat. So our omelet is ready to eat. I'm just going to cut a piece out and gently, and it should come out pretty easily since it is a nonstick. There we are. There. And you could garnish it with a little more fresh parsley if you wanted to. And you have a perfect meal for a weeknight that's quick and easy to make. For more ideas and recipes on your smartphone, please visit specialfork.com.